Good morning, folks. Welcome to episode 39 of Something More Than Gibberish. On this episode, my wonderful co-host and I will be hosting Vanessa Crampel, another poet from my fair city of Melbourne. I met this lady at an open mic possibly 12 months ago. She's on quite a spiritual journey, so her writing's generally all about uplifting ourselves, the journey of the soul, the growth of through life. And she's also multidisciplinary in the sense that she writes poetry, does spoken word. She's even known to MC a lot of events around the city of Melbourne, but she also is quite involved in her artwork. I recently went to an exhibition where some of her pieces were exhibited during the show. Really looking forward to featuring this lady and getting to know more of her creative journey, I guess. She's quite involved around Melbourne in within the art scene, within the poetry scene. I quite often cross paths with her at Hey Midnight, how are you? Cross paths with her around the open mics and so forth. And I'm just waiting for Speak of the Devil. She's just popped in the room. Miss Foxy Creations herself. I was just about to say I'm waiting for my I was going to say troublesome co-host, but that'll probably set the ball rolling for her antagonism. So I'll just say my lovely co-host Gemini Fox, and she's just joined. So as soon as she puts a request in, and Vanessa is also in the room, so we can get this ball rolling very shortly. Let's bring up Vanessa and look forward to episode 39 unfolding for the next hour and 3/4. Good morning, Miss Gemini.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening for your part of the world. Friday. Happy Friday evening to you, and a happy Saturday morning from our end of the world. You've gone off camera. You shy this morning?
Just a little preoccupied, but I'm here.
Oh, all right. Vanessa's in the room. Let's bring her up. How are you, Gemini?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm all right. I'm going all right. For good weather here in our sunny city of Melbourne.
Yeah.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm great. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. I don't know if you've met Gemini. Gemini, this is Vanessa or Artness underscore underscore underscore.
Queen V.
Queen
Hello,
Wee.
Vanessa.
Hi, Gemini. I can't see you, but here we go.
She
Good
was hiding
morning.
from me.
Yeah, she was, wasn't she? Well, good
Yeah.
evening to her, but good morning to you right now.
Good morning. How are you? So this has been a while coming. Looking forward to this.
Yes.
So where do we start? Where did it all? Let's start with where did it all start for Vanessa? So let's start. So you're originally of Martinician background, but grown up in France, and then you moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, correct.
uh, so you've got pretty much half your background is of French origin, and then the rest is good old Aussie background.
Yes, I guess so. I guess I spent most of my adulthood here. I moved to Sydney, New South Wales, in Gadigal Land in January 2006 when I was like 23 or something. So yeah, and then moved to Melbourne 5 years ago, 5 years and a bit now. Yeah.
Right. So, where did the writing start? Was it back in your adolescence and early adulthood, or once you got to Melbourne?
Yeah, it's a good question. The writing started since I can remember, since I can write. It's like since I can eat or talk or dance kind of thing. When I was a kid, I had my little journal, with like the little key and everything. So I used to journal as a child, and I used to love writing poetry as well and fables. That was like one of the things in primary school. Even though I used to be like really, really not shy, but yeah, I don't know. I had to go and see a speech therapist when I was a kid, so I used to create my own slang and thinking people was able to understand what I was saying, kind of thing. So I had to learn to speak proper French because I was creating my own, dialogue and yeah.
Well, speaking of languages, now you speak. How many languages do you speak?
Look, I speak French and English fluently. I understand Spanish, and that's about it. I would love to be fluent in English, though.
Sorry, I missed that. You broke up there. Fluent in what?
I would love to be fluent in Spanish. Yeah,
Yeah.
All of us
Well,
would.
you're
That's a
doing.
beautiful language.
it is, isn't it, Gemini?
Yes, it is. It's spoken widely here in Florida in the United States in this particular area.
Oh, okay. Oh, have to come for a visit.
Definitely.
Love to.
Apparently, they've got some killer squirrels over there. Just be careful, Vanessa.
Oh,
There,
do they?
there.
No way. They have like a
Yes, we have
mafia.
reconnaissance squirrels. And we have reconnaissance squirrels. They're being sent over by one particular Australian. I don't know why they're targeting me, but they said that they have a very fierce leader and that they're afraid of just being peaceful with me because of him.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know who Gemini associates with, but anyway, I won't go there. Um, so, when did you start? When did your writing and all that start getting pretty public?
Uh, Look, it started. I moved to Melbourne in May 2019, and then just right before the pandemic, my very first spoken word performance was at Bar Oussou on Sydney Road here in Naarm, and so that's when it started to get public. Like that was my first in February. And then we had the lockdown. And then in March 2022, I got back to Bar Oussou and offered my services as like a host to cover for the main host because it was something had to be done in family business. Um, so I guess, yeah, starting to do the MCing in February 2020 would have been the beginning of like me showcasing and also supporting the community through words. Yeah.
Well, you're certainly active, pretty active around the open mics scene in Melbourne, which is great. And you're certainly very supportive, and you're certainly very accepted by everybody. Every time I've seen parts I've crossed at an open mic,
Mm.
you light people's faces up in with your presence and your work, and so that's great. So that community work is certainly having an impact, which is good. Um, and also, besides the written side of the creative arts, you're also into painting, your artwork as well, which is now taken on quite a journey there.
Yeah, that's true, true. Thanks for that. Yeah, so I love visual art and I've been painting since I moved to Melbourne 5 years. And I guess my style of painting and being as an artist is freedom. Freedom of expression is my style. I do not. I never been to any uh, writing workshop. I never been to. I'm a self-taught artist, pretty much. That's what I mean to be saying. So most of my painting are reflective of my journey, my spiritual growth journey and practice that I've been applying since I moved to Melbourne, in terms of having like rituals, having capacity to connect with spirits or ancestors in my own little world. Those kind of things are translated into some of the painting that I've done in abstract kind of form. Some of them. Some of them are self-portraits as well.
Where's the bigger passion, the bigger driver in the art or in the writing, or is it a blend of both?
You know what? Today I love that you asked this question. Thank you. Today it's definitely a mix of both. I started more, I guess, being a visual artist announced publicly, and in 2022, that's when also the spoken word and the writing came through to life publicly with doing the Black History and everything. So after a year of like hiatus and overcoming depression and reflecting, having the time to reflect um, on what is my form of true calling, if I may call it like that. Um, I was just thinking, why should I have everything separate? Sky's the limit. I was like, actually, I can mix visual art and poetry. So from now on, I kind of like want to implement and integrate words and poems into my visual art piece, which I've done for the latest exhibition, um, which was
That's
in Naarm
beautiful.
here. Yeah, thank you.
That is beautiful because so you're an all-around creative. I love the way that you said that. Why limit yourself? And I'm in
Mm,
this like process right now because I create quite a bit. It
yeah.
feels overwhelming sometimes, but if you marry some of those talents, then it's not as overwhelming. So I can't wait to see some of your work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I have some of the paintings I can show you. I have some of the
Beautiful.
paintings here. So this paintings that I'm going to show you is the series comes in three pieces together. And I guess all my paintings, all my visual arts, prior to be combined with words, this one is just abstract, are included with like a poem, you know. So
Hmm.
that's how I started. I was doing the visual art, and whoever purchases who gets the item gets the poem that comes with it. So this one is called Little Ness series, and I guess that's like um, sharing some bit of my spiritual practice and journey. And the big round is the big Vanessa, the Queen Bee, and the small one is the child Vanessa, and is about that relationship to see and hear each other and have this moment of conversation with my younger self. So that's the part one, and then this one is the second piece that goes with it, and is the formation of my younger child Vanessa and myself now merging together in the form of understanding and listening and sharing light on each other in order to heal. So it's a lot of self-healing journey in that practice. And
Wow. That's beautiful. That's what I was going to ask about the line in the first painting. Was the
mm,
line to representative of time, or was it a representative of healing, distance and healing between the two?
yeah, I love that question. Thank you.
Well,
You know what? I never thought of it like that. So there's no really relation to times, but there is. this relation to distance, as you can say, as you can see in the picture, which was this one. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and so it took time within the process of being in meditation um, to really honor my inner child and myself and meet, you know. But it's such a beautiful journey when I do so. And then at the end, that's the last one of the three, and that's the correlation and the joint spirit of myself and my inner child together, sharing golden light and love.
Is that
The
layered?
healing.
Because I can see the background.
Yes, so it is layered. I love, yeah, it is layered, this texture. I use acrylic, so
Hmm.
I'm not an old painter. I've tried oil. I'm not patient enough, and it's quite strong, and it smells weird. I'm like, nah, acrylic. I can play around with it. I'm not patient enough to have the whole fucking week, the whole week to wait for the oil to dry. So I'm pleased
You're
with
not
acrylic.
patient right now. You're not
Sorry.
patient right now. You're not patient right now, but you will be eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you say that. Look, it depends for what, because like last time I remember we were having dinner with Renier and I was like raving, I was bragging about my patience, and then next minute something happens, and then he's like, "Oh, so I thought you were patient," and I was like, "Ah, but it depends what it is."
Which is very true.
Yeah.
To me, and look, art speaks individually to individual minds, I guess. To me, interestingly, in that first painting, you had the two entities separated, and
Hmm.
then they blend, and then it's both are one radiating out. And to me, that is the journey, right? To me, this is what it speaks, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah.
Um, as a as we go through childhood, through adolescence, first we got that strong parental control, that communal control, the schools, that sort of dictate. So there is that delineation of us being true selves, and then as we transition through the early stages of adulthood into adulthood, we start blending that childhood conditioning as well as breaking free of what's not relevant
Yeah.
and using what's relevant to project who we are as that adult,
Yeah.
and then that slowly merges to suddenly, like right now at my ripe old age, I am everything. There's essences of my childhood conditioning that
Hmm.
I've is relevant, that I've held on to. What's
Yeah.
no longer relevant, I've discarded, and
Hmm.
it's me now.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
blend of and that's what those series of those three paintings speaks to me, correctly or
Mm-hmm.
incorrectly.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Love to hear
Hello.
Now,
that.
hello.
Nice
Now
to
we
see
see her.
you. Ah, finally, the beautiful Gemini. You always have that. You're giving me like the cinnamon chai spicy feeling right now. Like feeling warm.
She is like a cinnamon chai, I believe. Yeah.
I love I love Chide. I discovered like was it so the I can't remember the name of the no I can't remember Tazo. Tazo came
Mhm.
out with a vanilla chai, and that was like my favorite thing to drink, and then they stopped selling it
Ah,
down here, and like it was like ripping something beautiful away from me, and it came back and they changed something, so it's not the same. So I pacify myself with Thai tea. I'll go to a Thai restaurant or some type of how you call it, Asian restaurant, and I'll get the Thai tea, and that takes it for me, and it's cold
yeah.
versus hot. So yeah, but thank you, that's a
Okay.
compliment. See you
It
again
Actually,
is my
anytime.
pleasure.
I should just let you two go on here because you're culturally, you're almost sisters, right? You're come from
Of course we are.
islands, very
Yes,
close islands, right? You're from St. Lucia, Stephanie, and
Martinique.
Vanessa's background's from Martinique, so almost soul sisters. I should just shut up and let you two sisters reunite here.
Finally.
Revited.
He said something that I can agree on. Finally, cállate la boca.
Yes, thing.
Oh, God, goodness. You know, I'm limited to just English, so she always
I
pulls out all these
understand
French
what you
words and
said.
her. Eh?
That's why I said it,
And
because you can't understand.
Vanessa, can you translate for me?
yes, she pretty much said, "Oh, I agree on that. You can close your mouth politely. Yeah, stop talking. Thank
Now,
you."
I did, getting back on track, I did, you did say that you're trying to bring the visual and the spoken sort of arts together. And I have
Yes,
seen you do that actually on a couple of your where on Instagram, I think you did a painting and
Mhm.
you've written words. And yes,
yes,
that
yes.
was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that I think that's the one who says embracing messiness. Let me try and grab it. Actually, I'll be a second.
I cannot.
So, Miss Fox, where am I getting the background noise from?
I beg your pardon. That's not. Yes, dear. That's not me.
That'll be Vanessa because she looks like she's outside somewhere.
Yeah,
Enjoying beautiful weather, indeed.
I'm outside on the deck. Actually, I forgot the one with the words has been a sold painting. So, but yeah,
Oh, congratulations.
mm yeah,
So,
Hello, everybody.
hi Tom. So, shall we start off hearing a piece of your poetry?
yes, yes. That sounds
The,
good.
so, remember this show. I just Gemini and I just provide the platform, right? This
Yes,
is all about showcasing our featured guest. So
Hmm.
it's an open stage for you. Whatever you want to promote, whatever you want to show off yourself, whatever you want to share off yourself with the viewers, because this you don't know who sees it, so it's all yours. The platform is yours to really showcase your work. Uh, don't be controlled or think that you've got to work within a certain framework. Open slather.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for setting the bar. Um, freedom. We're gonna start with freedom, one of my poem, um, which speaks to me highly because that's something that I've always seeked for somehow as a young child. Like I've always been like rebellious and not really um, following my mom's guidance that much. She'd be like, "Why are you always doing the opposite?" Because I'm like, I want to try the opposite first.
Now that doesn't surprise me with most of you Islander girls. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Excuse you. You see now, I'm gonna let our lovely guest speak. I'm just gonna ignore you because you're just trying to go ahead and poke at me. So I'm not gonna take the bait. Because then you tell people I'm violent and I threaten you all the time.
You do, but you
All
do.
right, let's talk about freedom. Uh, okay, so freedom. I see you when I look at you. Mirror reflection of a spirit of a kind. You are wholesomeness in Almighty, striving with peace, love, and light. I sense you more than anything. Your presence transcends living consciousness, free to surf the waves of this journey. Your body, mind, spirit, striving for passion, tenderness, and all the above. When I look at you, I feel a sense of warm comfort, trust, love, care that resonates throughout my being like never before. A dome, a sanctuary that I cherish and look forward to explore. From me to you, I love your wholesomeness. Thank you.
Beautiful. So I have to ask
Yeah.
because while you were speaking, all I heard was part of that poem in a different language. Do you have any poems that you share in more than one language?
I do have a poem that I share also in French, which is my mother tongue, native language. I'm more than happy to do a French poem. Do we want to hear it?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me just get this
Oh,
organized.
wow. He's finally keeping his word. Oh, I spoke too soon. He's stuck.
Before you go there to the next one,
Yes.
I just want to say that's a really interesting piece. I really love that piece, the freedom, um, because freedom something it changes right from our concept of freedom as a child through adolescence, through our youth, through adolescence, through adulthood, into our latter years in life.
Mm,
Uh, as a juvenile, that freedom is to freedom from parental controls and societal sort of controls and governance.
yeah.
And then it's the freedom of choice to live our life as we choose. And then now, and then as you get older,
Mm,
which you two young ladies probably still to get to my ripe old age, as you get older, freedom becomes almost like that. How can I say? It's not like I need to go out and do freedom to do things, right? I've been able to do that on my life, but it's that freedom of calmness, the freedom of the mental expectations,
mm,
or having to live or do things a certain way as our minds have been conditioned to. To me, now freedom is just freedom to live my heart's desires, whatever that might be. That calmness to live my soul's expression. If that, I don't need to go and establish a corporate career or a way of living life, or those go and get those mud and brick house, or those two cars in the driveway, or a wife and two kids, as the Australian way of life is.
yeah.
I don't need to do those. To me, those are irrelevant now. Which were, as most of my adult life journey, that was the driver, right? You want to find stability. You want to find a home. You want to have that family. You want to feel that family love. Now, my son is grown up, and to me now, I'm living for me again. But my priorities are different, and that whole freedom is one word that can mean so much through our journey. So I really love the way you capture that piece. I'm going to shut up now, and I won't be able to understand anything you say in French, but I want to keep my co-host happy. So let's hear. I'm actually looking forward to hearing your.
Thank you. Actually, I'm gonna finish something on freedom and wanted to state as well because I've done some research, or being a wizard of word and understanding things. Um, Freedom, you can actually cut it down, which I have it tattooed into part like free and then dom, because they're actually two words that are separate from the word itself that we know, freedom. So free is like the liberty of expression or do whatever you want, but then dom is also like a space um, that may be defined as a sanctuary, may be defined as a safe space, may be a hell of a space, who knows? But they're actually two different words, and I think it's very beautiful to be able to um, have that distinction, like free and then dom. Like, not everyone has a dom, not everyone has a free, like, so there's something quite interesting about the exploration of freedom as well.
You see, and that's where I was, the mindset, because as a child, you think freedom is getting a chance to do what you want. You don't have to listen to anybody. As an adult, you learn that even though you make your own choices, there are consequences, and you do have to listen to somebody. And as you get older, some choices are taken away from you because your body is not where it used to be. So, how you call it? So your mentality shifts. Now, the only way you do not lose the concept, the belief, and the piece of freedom is having a freedom mindset. So as a child, you can still be carefree. Yes, you listen to your mother, you do this, but your imagination is wild. As an adult, you keep that imagination, your enthusiasm, and your just your passion. You do not forget that childlike nature. And as you get older, you go back to the child stage again. I plan on fully like embracing. I have all of my gray hairs that have come.
Yes.
I twirl in the middle of the grocery store. I am back to that child that I was before trauma and then adulthood interrupted that. So that's the freedom. That's the feeling of, you know what? Yes, I have bills to pay, but that doesn't mean I can't dance to the bank to take the money out to pay them.
Yeah, yeah. I love that you said adulthood interrupted that. I think definitely there is a big truth that everyone can relate on that. And
Hmm.
talking about, the nourishment of the child spirit. Since two nights ago, I started to do this playtime where I'm actually wanting to challenge myself for 21 days to do something playful for my inner child. So I started by doing that by actually purchasing myself a guitar, which I'm very
Oh,
excited
nice.
about. Yeah, I got an acoustic guitar, a Valencia, and so thrilled. And I named her Octopus, and I've just painted on it an octopus. And
Oh,
yeah, you know. And then yesterday, my playtime was like, I just want to drop some love. So I was like, I went to see my spiritual mentor and I dropped some candles and I went for a walk with one of my fellow mentor mates for 30 minutes. I was like, I'm in your area, let's go for a walk.
that's
And I got
beautiful.
some free lemon from a lady from her backyard. I love lemon. Look, I was like, I gotta ask. So we walked past the front of the house and I saw those beautiful lemon trees. And I said, any chance you would like to share some of those lemon? That would be lovely. And she turned around and she gave me about six lemon, and she was from Italy. She was not speaking fluent English, but she understood it. She straight away just picked them and put them in a bag for me. And I was like, blessing, thank you. So that was my playfulness of love yesterday.
Yeah, love has no language. Like, and so imagine that is your childlike nature because an adult say, "Oh, that is just so rude. You don't ask people for things." And a child would be like,
Exactly.
"Oh, I see lemons. Can I have some?" And like, oh my gosh.
She's got
Okay,
100 lemon. What's giving me one or three lemons gonna do to her?
beautiful.
You know? Yeah, love is
If
love.
I'm upstairs, so I can't quite see my lemon tree. My lemon tree is covered in lemons at the moment. Next time you're going to an open mic, just let me know. I'll bring you as many as you want.
And ship some to me. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate some fresh Australian lemons.
Yes.
You'd probably have the lemons I send you. You'd probably have them and pull sour faces, saying, "Oh, damn, Australians send me sour lemons."
You are sour lemon, but we're not talking about that. But you, darling, you can go ahead and continue with your poem in French.
Yes. Okay, so for the context, I've written this poem uh, during the first wave of the pandemic, the COVID, uh, and I was going through some turmoil, as you call it, turmoil. Like it was really like a tornado feeling. I was crying when I was writing this poem, and I took a photo of me crying because it was a beautiful cry. So here we go. Dans ce silence, je sens un vide d'émotions qui gravitent. comme un nuage en action. Je sens un vide dans les mouvements de ce nuage, un vide qui fait battre mon cœur, un vide qui me fait vibrer à travers cette énergie. Zut, je n'ai jamais su jusqu'à ce jour que dans ce silence, je ressentirais tellement de sens et de non-sens en attendant. Dans cette immobilité, comme si demain n'existait plus. Et seule la présence d'être, de vivre, de respirer, comptait vraiment maintenant. Oh, je sens un vide d'émotions qui gravite, comme un nuage en action. Je sens un vide qui me donne envie de crier, et de crier fort. Un vide que je libérais librement, si seulement je savais comment. Comment traduire ce que je ressens. Comment réfléchir à ce que j'entends, vois. Comment réagir à ce que je touche. Oh, je sens un vide d'émotions qui gravite, comme un nuage en action. Un vide de nostalgie soudain, d'amour, de tristesse, de compassion et de confusion. Oh, je t'ai senti, cher vide. Merci. Thank you.
So, what I understood, danser silence, dance in silence.
Dans ce silence, in this silence.
Oh my gosh. See,
Dans...
herein lies the difference between Creole
Yeah,
and
exactly.
French. Danser in Creole is dance.
Yeah.
But the combination danse et silence, that's what, because I thought I was hearing dance in silence. You were saying in the silence. Oh
Yeah.
man.
In the silence. Because on dit en français aussi, on dit danser, hein, for dance. But maybe the word I was saying, dans ce silence. So it's D-A-N-S. Dans ce silence. Yeah.
Even after you said it, I still heard danser.
Yeah, and this like exactly. And you know what? Like we all different spirit, right? In this space. So whatever I say or maybe doing, maybe naturally translating very differently to my own feeling and perception of what I'm translating. And that's normal.
Now, and
Now,
libertaire was one of those words, liberty.
Yeah.
Okay. See, now, okay. Do you have it in English?
I do have it in English. Let's do it in English.
now there's
So,
before you go there, there's a lady, a days and one WO5.
Yeah.
She's put in a comment there in French. She's from Nigeria, actually. I only recently connected with this lady.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean anything to you?
What did
Oh, not even go there. So
you
can you
know?
read that
Yeah.
comment?
I just saw the comment. Désolée, votre poésie est très bonne. She's basically saying that my poetry is really good.
I understood
There you
most.
go. You've got to. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this lady is from Nigeria or still residing there. Is that correct, Dazen? Um, but anyway, carry on. So, one of you going to translate some of that, at least some of the essence of that poem for me, or?
I do have the English
Oh,
version, which is how
beautiful.
this is how I delivered it when I did the very first time. So I did the French one and then did the English one. So please, I'm gonna get started with In This Silence. In this silence, I feel a void, a void of emotion that gravitates like a cloud in action. I feel a void in the motions of these clouds, a void that is making my heart racing, a void that is making me vibrating throughout that energy. Damn, I never knew until today that in this silence I would feel so much sense and nonsense in the meantime. In this stillness, as if tomorrow no longer exists, and only the presence of being, living, breathing, truly mattered now. Oh, I feel a void of emotion that gravitate like a cloud in action. I feel a void, a void that makes me want to shout and scream out loud. A void that I would unleash freely, if only I knew how to translate what am I feeling, how to reflect on what am I hearing, seeing, how to react to what I am touching. Oh, I feel a void of emotion that gravitate like a cloud in action, a void of sudden nostalgia, love, sadness, compassion, and confusion. Oh, I felt you, dear void. Kindly, Queen V.
There is so much that I thought I understood that I did not really hear. And that's how language is. And sometimes people can be speaking the same language and they don't understand what the other person is saying because their interpretation, because my translation in my head, based on what I heard from my language, did not match what you just said.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's the beauty of diversity. I love to hear that. Thanks for sharing your
You're welcome.
experience.
You're welcome.
The I actually cherish the void. I cherish the silence. It is where I go to make sense of the world and what I witnessed in the world and what I see in my day. I end my day with a meditation of going into that void. I start my day of going into that void from a subconscious state into a consciously going into that void to feel what what's transpired in my subconscious. So I start my day in the void and I end my day in the void, even if it's for 10 minutes as I go into a meditative state. So I cherish the void. A lot of people dread it, but it is where, to me, it is a place where I can safely shut away the conditioning, the input of my physical senses, and really hear that inner voice. What is it? Why am I here? So I do cherish that void, and I think that poem really reassures me that that is a good place, that is a safe place to be. It should be. The cadence of your recitals also really suit your work. It's very calming and just the the pauses, the whole cadence really suits the message of what you want to convey.
It
Thank you.
is. It is quite calming. For the void, I don't know. I haven't found it to be as calming because I don't think that my mind is ever quiet.
No,
So
no.
I have not experienced that void. It's when I don't speak, everyone else does. So it's
Yeah.
just always ideas, poems, memories, future thoughts, just everything, just always, always, always. And then if there's ever a moment where the volume is turned down, then I can't move or think or do anything. But the sound is still there. It's just like it's not as audible, and there's some that are a little louder than others, but it's always something. Even now, like there's
The I literally, well, I sort of forced myself, or maybe let's say it was forced upon me, where sometimes for weeks or even longer, I was well away from human beings. I had no human beings around me when I was on islands where I was a sole human being, or whether I was in the middle of the desert where I didn't come across any other human beings. I only had me for my company.
yeah, but I don't need anybody else for the noise. It's they're
Wow.
you don't understand. They're all in here. They're all in here. Every single voice I talked about. When I say others start talking, it's not people on the outside. It's inside. All of it.
Yes,
I don't need
you're
another
right.
voice.
You're right. I mean, her name Gemini is because she is a Gemini, and Gemini is there's more than one twin in there in that head there. There's probably 100. You're right. Sometimes
Don't say
I'd be
that to a
talking to her,
Gemini. They don't like it. They
See,
don't like
and
it.
I don't
the
know
thing
who
is
the
that
hell I'm talking to.
Stephanie is nice. Gemini Fox gonna get you. The first time I see you, I am going to tap you like right in the throat. Just one, small, quick, and precise. Just so you can catch your breath a little bit, and then I'll catch you. I will not let you fall. I won't let you
But
because according to everybody else, you're a tall guy, so I'm not gonna let you fall when I tap you in the throat, just to wake you up a little bit and
I'm
let you say
not a
hello to
tall guy.
Gemini
No,
Fox. What?
no, I'm not a tall guy.
According to what's his name, Midnight, you are.
Well, you
Hush!
and Midnight are
Don't
about the
don't
same
don't
height. So
don't
when you're
stop
4'2", it's anything looks tall. But I'm not
Maybe
tall.
you're not tall physically, but you're tall in different ways, you know? Let's be creative in that tallness, I think.
I am a
Maybe.
giant, and whoever's tall in stature, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, by all means, keep talking, keep talking.
There's
Where did you go?
so right now, Vanessa,
Yes.
you've you're working on your spiritual journey,
Yes.
and is it more focused now on the artwork at the moment as well? Because recently, correct me if I'm wrong, you also found somebody who's going to coach in that art space as well, right?
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, thank you. So I guess I have in the midst of my spiritual development and practice, I have come to birth the business called Krianes. And in that process, prior to talk about Krianes, I reached out to my art mentor. Her name is Sume, and found her, followed her on Instagram for quite a bit, and I was like, "Oh, can you be my mentor?" Because I have so many ideas and I have these downloads and all these things, and I love everything that you do. So, and it happened to be that she accepted. So it has been a really good process for me in terms of like having someone else's guidance to support the foundation and the idea and the brainstorming of Krianes. So Krianes is a space that I've created, uh, connecting the dots once again with my passion because I'm also a social worker. Um, I was like, what can I do? There's creative, social work, engagement, la la la. And I was like, I got many gifts. How about I can, support people who um, are creatives and emerging artists and wanting to have someone there on the side to be this coach or this mentor role. So my role will be as a creative healing guide. This is the title that I give myself, but meaning supporting creatives in terms of the integration of spiritual practice. So I'm a creative and spiritual mentor, helping emerging artists to find their, artistic voice. That's something that brings me so much joy and resonance in my spirit when I say it. There's a strong sense of affirmation that this is how I can best serve myself and serve others is by sharing that gifts, and it's more in the gifts of like co-creating and having that exchange of being a master student of something that you're passionate. I love fashion, I love meditating, I love spiritual practice, I love going into nature. I love playing. I love planning good events, and I love good food and a cup of tea. And my art mentor is a tea lover, so I'm so lucky.
It's beautiful.
Creationist. Maybe you can help me to evolve as an artist.
Well, we can have a chat, that's for sure. Yeah.
I don't know
If
why
there's
he rolled his
something.
eyes like that.
What was that?
I don't know why you rolled your eyes. She's capable of doing it. I mean, really. They have monkeys painting now, so like you're not any worse off than a monkey. You're a poet, right? You're
I,
an engineer. So I'm sure you will be able to put something down on canvas.
Would it be a canvas that you choose to have? Right. Would it be a canvas? Maybe you would be. So that's cool. I'm excited about the journey of Krianes. And thanks for asking about it. I guess, for me, having to, create community and share knowledge in the spiritual healing practice. And when I'm talking about the spiritual healing practice, is that my aim is to really be of guidance for anyone that are creative and that wants to integrate their spiritual beliefs or and practice into allowing them to expand and in whichever way they want to be doing. So that's exciting.
That's beautiful.
I have a
Because sometimes people feel
website at
that.
the moment, actually.
Beg your pardon, my love?
I have a website with my portfolio that you guys can have a look. I'll share the details with Ranian and you guys can share it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can check it out on your Instagram.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to type it in the comments. So, how about that?
the,
So you guys can have a
the
look.
so you've certainly looking back on your journey. So you've been a hairdresser, you've been social work, and now you're on this spiritual journey too. And I've got to say, Vanessa, um, particularly in these times, economically, globally, on a global level, things are tough. I mean, we're fairly lucky here compared to the rest of the world, but even here, things have gone up. But to take time away from what you were trained with, where to cut off that income stream and so forth, to follow your beliefs, that takes strength. And I admire that in you, where you've stepped aside from work and you're not just going to just pick up any other work if unless it fulfills you, just to give time for yourself
Yeah.
to follow your soul. That takes strength, and I admire that within you, what you do there. Um, it's like, social work is quite a demanding and quite a well, rewarding, and in many other ways as well, besides financially, seeing when you uplift somebody's life or help somebody get back on track and all, that's quite soul uplifting as well.
Yeah.
But you parked everything. You parked your careers, you parked your background, and you're not going to just pick any job until you get something that aligns with what you're looking for on that spiritual journey. So I admire
Mm.
that, really do.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. It took me back for a second. And you know what? Like, it was a really interesting moment because when you like take the time to really unravel everything and externally there's the people that are like, oh, why you not working and this and that, and I was like, I'm just trying to like, I don't, you guys gonna live my life? It's kind of like, can I take my time, because what happened relevantly and why I got down is for me to look into it at a deeper level than the other time. So,
Mm.
um, having to find that strength to say in the process of my process, and blessings for all the good intention of people wondering what I was doing or what's happening or this or that. But then now, I can acknowledge that, oh wow, like now I have a casual job as a youth worker and I'm loving it because it really fits with also me having the time to do my creative healing, community building as well, on queerness, on my own art, on social engagement with people that are seeking those hearted connections. I strongly feel like I'm in alignment with the intention and the nourishment that I've applied myself into. You would see under my bed, I have this little altar, and I have so many journals. Like, I've journaled so much, and I will not put them like I'm a collector. I will call this is like important stuff. There's knowledge in there. Um, and what I want to come to is that, yeah, it just provided me that space to be like, today I'm like, I can recognize that I'm living the life that I've created, and which is nice.
Mm.
Now, your journals, you are correct. There's knowledge in there. I
Mm.
have a fellow poet here in Tampa, who has like a PhD in something, but she actually left her job, um, as a teacher. She left her job and she had published her journals, 3 years worth of journals, um, with doodles and drawings and stuff in there. And it's amazing, just the raw transparency of that. And she did it for herself. But once she published it, I looked in there, and it speaks a lot to, um, like, the individual growth, how solitary that seems, but then you realize that you're not by yourself. And all the
Mm.
wisdom she put in there for herself to look at later, now she shared that wisdom with everyone else.
Yeah.
Her name is Jen Gellock. I can send you her information. But
Yes,
would you ever publish your journals?
that's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a good question. That's something that maybe someday I will be able to reply. But talking about publication, like one of my most current projects is publishing my first poetry book, which is probably coming out uh, in November.
Nice.
Um, and the title will be Uncheckable Love, which is one of the poems that I'll be reading at some stage today. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, the stage is yours. Go for it.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to read it now. Uncheckable Love. Uncheckable Love. It all started with solitude. Yes, you hear me well. It all started with solitude. Solitude, the kind that makes you unravel, recalibrate perhaps. One morning, things in your life look different, as if oldness had to be shifted, looked at with reverence. For real, reverence in the darkness. A past that requires sensorial expansions, listening, feeling, touching, seeing, tasting. whatever comes for what is, unlearning, unleashing the gifts, the lessons of it all. Solitude, transforming the inner path of creation and imagination, linked to grander, cosmically universal laws, you flow, aligning with what you consciously create, spell within every part of your being, in faith that there is no right, no wrong, but just is. Surrendering to inner conceptions, being simply curious to what magic is and perhaps will be. Confining the little self, confining the self in enjoying the little things in life, being reminded that every day you open your eyes is a blessing in disguise. Laying your streams of thoughts on those morning pages, creating conscious connections with your subconscious. For a moment, ever so fragile, you smile, discovering the inner love journey that leads you to feel, to see, experience a multitude of newness, new perspectives that your spirited being, ever evolving, affirming an unshakable love. Sorry. Grounding sensation that strengthens the mighty being that you are. Wholesome, unshakable love. I choose you today and tomorrow. Kindly, Queen V.
I love that. I love that.
When you said unlearning, and right after you said unleashing, yeah, that is beautiful. And that's the portion that all the things that we're taught that we're absolutely not, and we believe until we learn who we really are. That unlearning, it's harder to unlearn something than it is to learn it, but it's necessary to unlearn certain things. So thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That'll certainly be among some of my, like I love most of the pieces I've heard you recite at open mics and things like that. But this one would have to be among my favourites. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because to me, just the title alone, "Uncheckable Love," right? Um, we through fear we prevent ourselves from knowing the purity of a divine love. It's like trying to swim, holding onto the side of the edge of the pool. You can't swim. You don't feel the freedom of swimming while you're trying to keep one arm on the shore. Love is like that. While I try to preserve myself for fear of being hurt, I prevent myself from living that reflection of what that pure love that lives in my heart, being totally vulnerable, being like swimming in that wide open sea. You got no touch of that shore. You're miles away from that shore. Then you know full vulnerability, trust, faith, belief in all that you are. So that whole title, Uncheckable Love. While I have fear, I can only love so much.
Look at that. You've
But
performed it.
if I have no fear of the self being hurt or being taken advantage of, or whatever, can all the negatives that can be, if I set aside, okay, I consciously can say, yes, there is this chance, but I'm still going to walk out on a limb. That branch might break, I might fall, I might hurt myself, but I am going out on that limb in trust, in faith. That is strength. That is true strength.
Mm.
And in going out on that limb to find that best fruit, to know the purity of a perfect love, you have to park aside the check boxes we put in there.
Exactly.
You see, now you have reformed, Rainier. In about a year, I'll be attending a wedding. Tell me what colors I need to make my dress in. Hopefully, it's like a couple of days affair. Like do like a traditional. I don't know what a traditional Australian wedding looks like, but do a traditional wedding where I can make like 6 dresses and for like one for every occasion. I am so happy for you, Rainier. You're going to have uncheckable love, and I am going to attend a wedding in
Who's getting married?
Australia.
Vanessa's getting married. Are
You,
you getting married, Vanessa?
you,
Who's gonna?
everything that you said about fear and about fighting against fear, about resisting love, I heard you. And I
Me
support
getting
you
married?
wholly. What? I support you wholly. And I will be right by your side. The best woman is if there's a title like that. But look, I will even make your tie and I'll make the bride's dress. But I can attend your wedding. Destination weddings are beautiful. And you can have the middle of the desert under the stars. It's going to be amazing. Oh,
Look, I don't
Well,
know what kind of drugs they sell in Florida, but I'm not in Tampa, Florida. I don't know what sort of drugs you guys do there,
no,
but
that's no, and everybody who's here now, when we post the live, go listen to Rainier said something about not wanting to be tethered to a marriage or anything, and then fast forward it to this point right here. That is redemption.
redemption.
Beautiful. That's love breaking its way through. Like that's beautiful. That's reformation. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look at how you've grown in less than 2 hours.
look, in in my stage of my life, where I got one foot in the grave, the other on a banana peel, there's nobody who wants to marry me. All right, so there's no wedding now.
Oh my gosh, you need to stop that nonsense that people getting married at like 80 something years old. Like, you need to stop. Like, really. You're going to
I'm
scare her
now
away. You're going to
I'm
scare her away,
now
and then I will not be able to make a wedding dress. You can't do that. Like, that's my dream.
I'm at that stage of life where I'm going through my apprenticeship of being the next Gandhi, all right? There's no marriage and all for
Like
me. Nobody
Gandhi.
wants to marry
Yeah.
nobody wants to marry some old
Gandhi
goat
was
like me. So
married. Gandhi was married. Mahatma Gandhi was married.
I
Very
was
much
too, and
so
then
for years.
I was too, and I got divorced. So there you go, you know. Anyway, let's
Oh,
get
you're
back to
going to see
Vanessa. This is not about
Gandhi. It's going to be beautiful. So it's going to be an Indian wedding?
there's not going to be a
Look.
wedding, all right?
I'm
Vanessa,
already making outfits out of saris. Like this used to be a sari, so we're gonna have an Indian wedding. It's beautiful. See what you did? Thank you very much, my sister, for coming on. You have reformed him. Now I can go ahead and start looking at patterns again, so I can make a dress to wear at his wedding.
Well, I'm looking forward to have a dress because I love fashion. So please do not be shy.
I'll
Shed love.
make you a dress as well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. We got this sorted, Rainier. Tell us the location. We'll be there.
don't
definitely.
encourage her, Vanessa. Don't encourage her. She's just trying to get me married off to somebody. Look,
I am only thinking of your well-being. Statistics show that men who are single die at a higher rate than men who are married. I'm just
look,
looking out for
I,
your health.
I've lived a full life, and I'm quite happy. And there's nobody who wants to marry me, so it's okay. There's nobody
Ladies
interested
and
in
gentlemen,
that.
like we have to be like politically correct now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please send a DM to let us know your interest in Rainier so I can start figuring out what colors my dress is going to be. Because I want to make sure that the other party has a say in the wedding colors, since Rainier really does not have an option. He doesn't have a say. So please let me know of your interest, and you can go ahead and DM me. You don't have to tell him right now. You don't want to scare him away. DM me about your interest in Rainier, and I will smooth things over, because I definitely want to come to Australia and make a dress.
Look, now you got Miss Betty going as well. The best rocking wedding I attended to was where both bride and groom were in their early 70s, and we all danced the weekend away. Now you got Miss Betty started as well. Jesus. Vanessa, take this back on track with some
Let's take
poetry.
this. I got the mic now. Mic. Sound check. Queen V is on the mic. Queen V is on the mic. And we're going to get started with a poem called The Little Things.
Little
So,
things.
The Little Things. That's the little things, they say, that makes the whole picture nicer. The vision, dreams, and goals that you foresee. The little things that makes the bigger picture wholeness. They can be so much more. That's what your peers may think. Someone one day said to me, "You are brave. I recognize in you bravery because of the whole spirit that you are." Heartedly connected those days. I thank you for your being. That's the little things, sometimes bigger than others, that makes your spirits dance and dance and dance on and on until your heartbeat becomes the rhythm, the flow of life that creates it all. The canvas of your journey suddenly becomes an abundance of opportunities. The kind that at the time you may not even see. Eh ben ouais, cela arrive, ces moments d'inconscience, ma foi. Car vous voyez, nous sommes tous des esprits de multitudes divergences. The little things, they say, that makes a difference. It's all up to you at the end of it all. Which makes me wonder, that's the little things, they say. What kind? You tell me. And step by step, day by day, I wonder of a grander tomorrow. Thank you.
Very profound. There is lot said in that. A lot that we take for granted. We always got our minds, eyes set on the distant horizon, on the bigger picture. But along with it, we forget to enjoy the journey along with all the little things that do matter.
You know?
You you look at that grand house. Yes, it's beautiful, but that was made brick by brick, and each brick was made by grain of sand by grain of sand. We don't see the grain of sand, we don't see the individual brick, we don't see the labor, we don't see the love, we don't see the creation that went in there. We just see the house, because that's all we've had our eyes set on from the start. Yeah, yeah. So very powerful, very powerful. By the way, Gemini, Ty wants to know, dear Mischief, how are you? How art thou? So,
Hello,
yeah.
Mr. Blackwell. I can't see any of the. I don't think I can see any of the whatchamacallit anymore. Yeah,
Comments?
yeah.
No. Gemini, floor's yours. What were you going to say?
Um, I lost it because there were two words I thought I picked up in the French portion of the poem.
Yeah.
Um, oh no. Could you repeat that part again? Let me see if I can get it again.
C'est eh ben ouais, cela arrive, ces moments d'inconscience, ma foi. Car vous voyez, nous sommes tous des esprits de multitudes divergences.
No, because now I hear it differently. I thought I heard conscience. Did you say conscience or no?
Inconscience, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so I heard that.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, but I did not. So the other word I could not make out again. So what did you say?
You want me to translate it? Okay.
Yes, please.
I'll, oh, oh.
I know that there is no direct translation for language. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first
I'm
thing I
gonna
learned.
try to find a way. Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me the essence of what you said.
Well, basically, what I said is that it happens to have moments of unconsciousness sometimes,
Okay.
you know. But I also then validated the fact that we are all what's the word? We are all spirits of like diversity somehow. It's not that diversity is not the right term, but we are all spirits of grandness or multitude of choice. So do you know what I mean? That's what
Complexity.
yeah,
Is it
complex.
complexity? Is it-
Yeah, more complexity, I guess. Yeah, and that's okay.
Beautiful. Do you find that when you start thinking of a poem, does
Mm-hmm.
it come out first in French or in English? Or does it depend on the emotion?
Oh, I love that you asked that question. Well, for this story, I do think naturally in English. Um, and I know, like, since I'm a child, on a personal disclosure, I do speak over my night of sleep sometime around midnight, 1 a.m. And I've been told that I was speaking in English in my dreams. Uh, yeah, I guess this probably would answer your question.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But because I pick up on it's funny, like I have this, it's not funny. I just have this ability to learn languages really quickly. Like when I was in Europe, my best friend was from Portugal, and in 3 weeks I could learn to speak Portuguese, like fluent. Because
You can.
I have a musical ear. I have one of those ear I can pick up on things. So just by observing, my ability to observe with body language and also actively listening. And also, I do love people and I want to know what's happening and I want to be involved. So I guess all this combined makes me having this kind of form of ability, like where I feel like I could be put in another country tomorrow, but I will find my way. Like, with nature and my ability to observe and just listen. Then you can, you know, respond accordingly. And it doesn't have to be words. Sometimes it's just being able to formulate as well with. I don't do ASL sign language, but body language or just being a respectable person.
Yeah, I found that is some things are so universal that they need no words.
Exactly.
I went to a restaurant for 20 something years and they
Mm-hmm.
learned a little bit of English and I learned a little bit of Spanish. But until then, we were communicating in gestures, smiles, and giggles for trying to pronounce each other's languages. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. It's not.
Well, Vanessa, we've got about another half an hour, so where do you want to go next?
Half an hour. Okay. Yeah, no, we've got plenty of time. This is great. Next we're gonna go. Next we're gonna go with a poem that always makes me giggle. Sorry about the loud noise. I have airplanes flying off. I hope it's not too bad. Um, I wrote this poem next. It's called Dear Cheesiness. I love cheese. I'm a cheese lover. Like
So do
just
I.
saying, yeah, just saying the name, I just get excited.
Look,
I have,
this is how much I love cheese. I poured this on my pasta, and I just bought 2 things of cheese. The only thing I don't like is brie. I
yeah,
don't know how to eat brie.
okay,
Um, yeah. So when you talk about that, if you know how to eat brie, because it's definitely not my forte raw.
yeah, we make
Um,
brie in France. Sure know how to eat it. I love it. I love all the cheese. I even have a slice of cheese tattooed on my left, behind my left ear.
I met someone who loves cheese more than me.
Yeah, yeah, I have a slice because on the right side I have an ice cream tattoo. This is how much I love ice cream, and then on this I have a slice of cheese. So this
Cheese
poem is
will kill me. I can't say no to cheese. It'll kill me. I love it.
called.
All of us will fall
So
into a trap. All they have to do is set out a nice piece of cheese, and the 3 of us will fall into it.
that's it.
Whenever I visit a cheese factory, I come back with bags and bags and bags of, and my fridge is full of all these different cheeses. And then I'll sit there with melons and grapes and getting through the cheese one at a
See,
time. Bottles of red wine. Yeah.
yeah, let me know next time you got cheese. Don't eat them alone, yeah. I can be driver.
And if I would just take pictures of the cheese, take pictures of the cheese for me and tell me what type it is, I will be happy until I make it down there and visit the cheese factory. Just take pictures of the y'all eating the cheese with the fruit and all the whole setup, not with y'all eating the cheese. Then that'll make me jealous. But if you just take a picture of the cheese, I can imagine myself eating it. Beautiful.
Well, there's lots of good cheese factories down here, down in the peninsula area, down even I think there's even some down the Yarra Valley. We could go
Okay.
to a. You just made me want to go to a cheese factory now.
Yeah, we might. We'll talk about that. We're gonna plan. Yeah, let's go to a cheese factory. I've never been to a cheese factory in Australia. I have been in France, and that is a different level. That is next level. But yeah, let's do that.
I've never been to one. Now I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look for one here.
I know. Please do.
Oh my
Here,
gosh.
here in Melbourne, particularly, we've got a couple of different types. One is the European type cheese flavors, and then you've got like other parts are like quite a lot of Italian type cheese factories, and they make a lot of your Italian cheese, like your Gruyères and your pecorinos and all that, and they do different additives into like your pecorinos and all that. Amazing! It's totally different, but beautiful. Both beautiful in their own ways. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
No,
let's start with cheesiness.
cheesiness it is.
Cheesiness. The cheesiness. I love you so very much. I love your textures, your appearance. I love your colors, your shapes. I love your diverse flavors, with the exception of some flavors. And highly love you so much. Cheesiness. When I think about you, it brings me joy and comfort and awe. I love you so very much for what you are, essentially a taste of a kind. You are, as each bite seems different, cheesiness. You are an adventure to me, leading me towards a natural peace and love, leading my desires to explore. And for this, I am grateful. Yours sincerely, cheesiness.
So what I want,
Tell me.
this is my request, because
Okay.
I can't stop, I can't stop smiling. My cheeks hurt. What I want is a video of y'all going through the cheese factory, and I want you to recite that poem over the video.
Oh my God. You know
And
what? We're gonna make this happen. Yes, I'm
and
taking notes.
and for
Okay.
that, I am going to accept the fact that on the video you will have to eat a piece of cheese, and I want to see that exhilaration on your face.
Oh
So
my God. Oh.
my mouth is
Okay.
watering.
Mission accepted.
Yay!
I think she's trying to. You know how I said cheese will kill me? I think she's trying to kill me by stealth. She wants me to go and eat a heap of cheese and drop dead. That's what she's trying to do.
No, Rainier, I can't let that happen on my watch. I mean, remember, I'm trying to get you hitched, right? I want to make a dress. What? And black is not all the rage, so I can't take you out and then wear black for your funeral. We can't do that. I want a happy occasion with lots and lots of cheese.
We love
Okay,
cheese.
and every
Love
type
cheese.
Hi,
of
Onyx.
dessert and ice cream. What?
I said, hi, Onyx. Gemini's trying to kill me by stealth now, Onyx, just in case. Just, yeah.
No, I'm
Well,
not. I want to bring joy, and joy is cheese and ice
Mm,
cream.
yes. Ice
So,
cream.
what's your favorite flavor ice cream?
You know what? It always varies. So I love that question. At the moment, oh my God, no, yesterday. Okay, yesterday I got an ice cream. And I'm very happy because it's a new AIR. And anyway, I had a coconut sorbet ice cream. It was delicious. And what I loved about it and the choice and the reasoning of the choice why I chose coconut sorbet is because it reminded me of me eating that with my mom when I was a child. Like we always had coconut sorbet, and the one from Martinique. So the taste is like,
Oh, stop. Stop. Because,
yeah.
in St. Lucia, the coconut, I had the coconut, but what I loved and what I was allowed to have was rum raisin ice cream, which is actual rum soaked raisin, and Haagen-Dazs makes their
Oh,
ice cream
yum.
with real rum.
Mm.
so
Oh my God.
Yes.
Jim, in Melbourne, we're blessed with a lot of good Italian gelato ice creameries all over. There's one about 150 meters from my house, which I was really struggled to say no to. And they got a whole range of beautiful flavors. And I look at all the flavors and I always end up with rum and raisin, pistachio, and licorice. My son screwed up his
Licorice.
nose. How the hell do you? I love the licorice flavor. It's beautiful, gelati.
Licorice?
Yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
beautiful. Amazing.
I don't
Yeah,
know
the
about
Thank
licorice.
gelati is.
you. Licorice was what the candy that they gave us when we were growing up
Yeah,
to
like
make us stop eating candy for the day.
exactly.
It's like, here, you can
Tr-
have a piece of candy. And it's like,
trust me, the Italian gelati, the licorice flavor is amazing. It's not strong. It's just a subtle cleanser. But rum and raisin and pistachio, I always look at all the 20, 30 different flavors, and I always end up with one of those three or double flavor of any two of them.
what, what I've grown to love is the ginger. I love a ginger ice cream. There's a place that, because it's a clean, and we
Mm.
can talk all day. I'm gonna message you, Queen, about
Yes,
the different types of ice cream, because now I have to go to an ice cream parlor tomorrow because it's too late to do that now.
yes, please do. Let me know. I want to know what you're gonna
I'll
choose.
send you a video.
Yeah,
That way, I give you something so you can give
yeah,
me my cheese factory video.
yes. We will organize a cheese factory video for sure. I'm down.
I'm so excited.
All right, I'm gonna do another poem.
Yep.
It's a short one as well. It's called Wholesomeness. I am the light that transcends loving vibrations. I am you, you, you in its wholesomeness. A high priestess in ever evolving quest of healing, empowering, striving to be, to speak in truth, faith, and grace. In truth, I remain conscious. In faith, I find peace. In grace, I remain silent. I am the light that transcends the highest vibration of love and light. Kindly, Queen V.
That is beautiful. That is, I love that. I resonate with that so much. It's that inner voice, right? That's that inner voice speaking. That's the reality. That's the truth of it, right?
Yes.
Not the materialistic world, but the purpose of life. You captured it all in there. And if you look at my page, a lot of my stuff, I do a lot of haikus and all, always based on that inner. Well, you've got my books anyway. You've read my work there. It's always that inner light, and I think you've captured that really well.
Thank you.
I love the portion that says, "In grace, I remain silent."
Silent, yeah.
Silence is so powerful.
It is.
It is.
You know, silence is such a valuable form of communication. And it's interesting always. I've always found it quite interesting to observe and see how people respond to silence. Everyone's so different.
Mm-hmm.
I have sat with, let's say, a friend at a beach. We start off walk, and then we sit there, and then we listen to the sound of the waves, and then the conversation dies off. And I've sat there for nearly an hour in silence, just both enjoying just the sound of the waves, the wind on our face, and just not saying a word. And it's amazing how much we were still communicating, although we were not saying words. It's an amazing experience. And I even do that by myself, where I would just go for long walks on my own, where either be at an isolated, lonely beach or up in the hills or something like that. Just and that silence and the dialogue between my inner me and my head. It's amazing, without saying a word. But
I
I
don't
live
have
by
the sound.
myself. I live by myself, so I own my own company, and I don't normally walk around talking to myself. So that silence, like today, I have not interacted in person with any human being. I've woken up, I've had my shower and all that, and now I've been on this screen with you guys, and that's it. I haven't had a human being yet. So
For
I
me,
get a
it's
lot of time
still
for silence.
oh, go ahead.
I get a lot of time for silence, and it's good.
I'm pleased to hear that you seem to have enjoyed the silence. That's what you're saying, yeah? Yeah. Really learn to appreciate it. Some people can feel some form of discomfort and wanting to feel it. Oh, I have to say something.
For me, like I said, it's never silence, so it's the calm.
Yeah.
But I like going out in nature, and even though it's not silent, and then in my head there's a lot going on. There's a calm that comes over me. It's beautiful. I love allowing nature to override all of the other sounds going on in my head.
Mm.
So, Vanessa, when I post this, I'll add you and Gemini as collaborators, and then you can post on your own page. Besides that, through the course of the week, I'll create a YouTube video of this, and I'll also create a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
which will be on the channel, like Spotify and so forth. I will send you those links, and you can feel free to use them as you wish.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know who might hear those and who might see those. So we've got a podcast called Something More Than Gibberish, and
Yeah.
all our episodes are on there, which I'll share with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the I love the realism and I don't want to say value. Every poem adds value, but you give a sense of richness to the essence of what really what should matter to us, but quite often we don't. You know, that inner voice, that inner reflection. Well, most poetry here it is about the pain and the trauma of there, but you talk about
Mm.
there something more stronger. It's a very empowering, very encouraging, and very healing, which I
Yeah.
love listening to that. You know.
Well, thank you. I think, like it's really, we all got things going on whatsoever. And I think we can easily, and it happens to me too, I'm not a robot, we can easily disconnect with body, mind, spirit. And, I guess like for me right now, like I have this strong sense of understanding of like harmony and balance and what it means to me and what it looks like, and it looks like um, the capacity to be able to embrace the shadow and the light, embracing the wholeness of life for what it is, not being blind of just wanting to be, I don't know, successful or wanting to be a chef or wanting whatever you wanting to be, you know, um, the end product of something, like
Mm,
basically allowing yourself to be really connected in like the present in somehow, which is the present is the process, and
mm,
we can easily get sidetracked.
mm,
Like right
mm,
now for me, for the last 10 days, I've been on a transitional forced rest,
mm, mm.
which I had to do, and because I know myself, I get really extremely motivated by things and this and that, and it takes me a while to like, regulate my nervous system or find the balance. Nevertheless, I have this resources and tools that I practice along the days. Is tapping, either is 3 minute meditation, either it's just allowing myself to like be, what do I hear now, feel, see, touch, blah blah blah. Just to reconnect because we can easily just being sidetracked and going on and on
Yeah,
in different
yeah.
ways.
The we've got about 10 minutes left, so feel free to plug anything you've got coming up, or November, your book. Congratulations on that too. Looking forward to that. Um, and also, I've got to say to the people who've come in and out of the room, and Adaze, and you have stoically been in the room there. Thank you for your support, and because as I often say,
Thank you.
it the commentary and so forth really does help the artist to give more of themselves, whoever we feature on the show. So you play a key role in it. And Adaze, and thank you very much. Every time I have uh, parts I've crossed on lives, you're very supportive, and I yeah really appreciate that. Really value that. So anyway, let's use the rest of the time for you to plug whatever you got, any other poetry, and we'll always close off with one of your favorite pieces as well. Um,
Well, I got like Two more poems that I want to read,
Go for it.
for
Yep,
sure.
yep, yep.
Um, I'm gonna start with. I want to break it down and sky down in my hood. It's a short poem. So, sky down in my hood. As I walk about around the neighborhood, the sky is like an ocean of clouds floating above my head. It is textured like a painted canvas, or if I may dare to say, like the 50 Shades of Grey, a variant of autumn as I've never seen before. Is my spirit reaching out to those clouds at a level of beauty I have never seen? And I wonder, what if I was sensing my surrounding like never before? I wonder, I wonder. Thank you.
What inspired that piece?
I was literally walking in my neighborhood. When I say sky down in my hood, that means in my neighborhood. So I was, yeah, it was probably 2 years ago or something, and I was walking, and I was actually crossing like a little bridge on top of a river or something, and you know, I was just connected with the elements and my surroundings. So it's one of those walkabout when you just kind of observe. And as often actually when I go for a walkabout in nature, I get inspired and just start writing. So I thought, you know what, I just have this spark of this moment and let's just put it in the book kind of feeling. It was just spontaneity.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. This other one is called Darkness. Oh, darkness. You exist under the light, deep in the shades. You reflect a shadow laying there, grounded, still in the depths of it all. Discovering truth, strobing pain after pain, pain distortion, emotions that you did not know existed. As if someone was stabbing your heart, you scream, darkness, until no more sound, and just echoes, finding their way far, far away. To a mirror, you know that kind of mirror you hold with your hand, saying, mirror, mirror, am I the most beautiful spirited being in town? And then the mirror responding, darkness, no, there is one other most beautiful spirited being in town. Her name is Lightness. Out of despair, darkness goes back in the shades and flows throughout the motions of it all, seeking for responses, a quest, a kind of stillness, slower pace, invites itself. Until that moment, darkness looks above her and see the stream of light like never before. The light getting bigger and bigger, grander and grander. shining, somehow transcending joy, laughters, fireworks. In this moment, the feminine, spirited being in me soon realized the strength and beauty of darkness and lightness, being duality in Almighty, but most of it all, a force of coexisting, both yearning for being dark and light, balanced and feminine, holiness. Thank you.
Your
That's
cadence. Go ahead.
carry on.
I've found that there's a there's a calm in your cadence that I've experienced with a lot of people from Australia. Like there's no rush to get through the poem. Um, there's time to feel, to form imagery, and I think here in the U.S. and in some other places, words are compacted, and there is a sense that you have to put in a lot to get out what you did with fewer words. And there's a rush to kind of like feed the audience. But it also speaks to the climate, the difference in the climate. I don't know unless you actually search for it and create it yourself. There's not a calm here in the US. And that's one of the things that attracts me to other places like Australia. In everything, there seems to be some calm that is embedded in everyday life that I don't find here. So yeah, I love your cadence. It's beautiful. If you've heard Zooks's cadence is like that as well.
Okay.
I've written with him, and just one word or 4 or 5 words, and just a multiplicity of meaning. So thank you.
Yeah,
Pleasure. Thank you.
that's very accurate, Gemini. Because even if you look at Angela Sam and Vanessa, even Nick Jenks that we featured a couple of weeks ago, there is that business. What I find, particularly with the US, as a result of the lifestyle and the pressures, the social pressures, the racism, this, that, and the other, there's a lot of passion blended with anger. There's almost theatrics. The really there's that you almost get absorbed by the theatrics that you lose the words. Whereas most of us here, uh, matter of fact, one of the open mics that actually the one where I first met Vanessa at Bar Oussou, there's a couple of trans people, transgenders that I love listening to because they speak. I'm speaking of Sarah and Juniper, Vanessa. You know, like they speak so calmly and so softly, but you can almost feel pain. You know, it's lingered, it's paused between words. It is quite enormous because like we don't have that segregation of American Australian or African Australian or Italian Australian. We're all Australians, you know. Like Vanessa is not a French Australian; she's an Australian, right? We don't have that segregation, so there's no angers there. Especially, yes, there is racism. Don't get me wrong, but it's nothing to the. But some of the racism is almost said in jest, right? But and there was in the 70s and the 80s there was certainly racism here, but compared to what you guys experience, like we don't have that. Uh,
So I would
and
not say, go
It's
ahead.
different.
you are right.
It's
That's
different.
one of the things I do really appreciate in Vanessa's work, cadence. There's like each word is like a seed planted in your head, and that seed has time to grow, sprout before the next words come in.
Mm.
I love that.
Well, I
You know.
was not so. To disagree with you, I do not believe that the American poets have theatrics. Um, I believe that the tempo and the cadence of their words matches the rhythm of the life that they're living and the experience, the individual experiences that they're having. What I was saying was that the I noticed the difference in the rhythm of life based on the cadence of the poet and the choice of words, however few or many that are shared. And I appreciate hearing a different cadence when you're surrounded, and I'm living a similar life as a lot of the poets around me. I like reaching out and hearing other cadences, feeling other rhythms and tempos to know that this is reality here, but this is not reality. This is just
Mm.
situational reality. And
Mm.
there is life more abundant. There is life more enthusiastic, more. There is a passion that you can have that does not require the pressure that you're existing in, because
Mm.
I hear passion in Vanessa's poems, even though there's not that pressure.
Mm,
But I can still appreciate Jamie Dawson's work or Charles's work with all of the pressure that comes with that passion. But I'll say
Mm.
that the cadence and the rhythm of life, the rhythm of life is so evident in the cadence that a lot of the Australian poets, I can feel that rhythm. And in the Nigerian poets, I can feel the rhythm. In the Indian poets, I can feel in the UK poets, I can feel the rhythm of life, of their life experience within their cadence, and it's just so beautiful.
Mm. Thank you.
See, Jamie's when we featured Jamie, her cadence is almost it's just so slow and so passionate.
That's some of her
Coming
work.
from you know,
That's some of her work. She has some other work that is just explosive. That's a portion of
and
her work.
and
But like
a lot
it's
of
amazing.
a lot of your pieces too. I like the cadence of your recital, and you blend in the facial expression as well that shows that emotion, which I really enjoy in your work. Um,
Well, I'll just say that I love the rhythm of Australian life. So I would love to see that firsthand, to stand on that bridge with you, Queen V, to
Yeah.
see like what brought on that and the word choices based on the rhythm of what's going on where
Mm.
you are in your life, in your
Mm.
experience.
Mm.
mm,
Or the
yep.
desert that Renee talks about all the time. To stand in the
Mm.
middle of you guys' desert and to feel that rhythm that came through the poems that he shared in his book, because it's a
Mm.
different rhythm from what I'm experiencing here.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
Well, the other thing too is in landmass we're similar size, but we've got 27 million people. You've got 330 something million people. That's a
Don't
big
remind me.
difference, right?
Traffic. Don't remind
Yeah.
me. But
So
Big
yeah,
traffic.
mm, go ahead. You have the mic, Queen.
Oh, do I? Oh, thank you. Well, I feel like I want to close up with a poem and then maybe a wrap up about me, and then that's it,
yep,
really.
yep.
Okay.
Um, Let me just find the one. I'm always in a quest. Uh, Bear with me as I'm maneuvering through my computer.
While you're doing that, thank you, Vanessa, for agreeing to feature on the show. It's been a pleasure hosting you here, and as always, Stephanie, thank you very much. It's been always a pleasure to host this show with you. And I'm glad I was able to bring yet another Australian poet to the show.
Well, thank you for coming, Vanessa. I appreciate your words. I appreciate your spirit. And I appreciate your love for ice cream and cheese and for reforming Rainier so I can make a dress to wear for his wedding. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
My grand pleasure. My grand pleasure. And I would like also to be expressing my gratitude towards both of you for having us in this space, for having other talented creatives as well coming along. And I like the connector around this, and I like the chat and everything. So I feel like I'm really excited, want to do something new. And also, I really liked Rennie's styles of writing. And so, like when I first met Rennie, I was like, I bought his 2 books straight away. I was like, we're gonna be friends, and we are. I don't bullshit around. Like I just do things as I feel, as I say it. So thank you. So I'm gonna finish
The
with yeah.
the other thing was going to say, Vanessa, this is only the first time; it's not the last. So as you have big events like when your book's out and all that, touch base. We're
Oh
happy to
yeah.
bring you back on and feature and plug all that as well, right? So yeah,
Oh
carry
yeah,
on.
that would be amazing because the books will be out mid-November for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna finish with a poem called "She Trusted She Could, So She Did," and I've written that one. It's a short one, about 2 years ago. Abundance, she feels. Abundance, she is. Limitless opportunities. She embraces the messiness of it all. Once again, she embraces the messiness of it all. Embracing messiness. Abundance of emotions. Motions, curves, and flows. She suddenly awakened with acceptance. Acceptance that this journey would be at times coming with diverse lessons, some more variant than others. The truth being life lived as Captain Ness, learning, unlearning, creating, recreating, imagining, reimagining. Abundance she feels, abundance she is. Limitless opportunities. She embraces the messiness of it all. Once again, she embraces the messiness of it all. Embracing messiness. Why not choosing to trust it all? I do. I trust that I can. I trust that I am. I trust abundance, peace, love, and faith. Mantras of my spirited being to those days, making my soul vibrates with golden joy, joyful abundance. That's it.
You mentioned the one word in there that I was thinking throughout the entire poem. I thought to myself, this feels like a mantra. And then you mentioned mantra. So if you look at the video, you'll see a big smile come across my face.
Ah, talking about serendipity. Nice.
That
Okay. I
was
love that you
beautiful.
felt that. I love that you felt it because it is a mantra that was just like
That
I need to have that.
Yeah.
that is my current experience working through some of the things that I'm experiencing at this very moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is the repetition of the positive, of abundance, of unlearning,
Mm-hmm.
and that spoke a lot to me. to my spirit. So I appreciate you sharing that as the last poem. That's like that ginger ice cream right after all of this yumminess. So it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Ginger ice cream is speaking my language. We need to go.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Brilliant.
I'm glad I connected you to Island Sisters together. I'm glad you could reunite on this screen.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
love the
so
way he
much.
said reunite. Like we've been here before. I like that.
Well, I'm sure as you know, like um,
Mm.
St. Lucia, Martinique, all those origins, I'm sure there's, probably related to each other or something like that.
Somewhere down the bloodline, centuries and centuries ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, probably our spirits are familiar to one another. Reunite was meant to be said if you said it.
Yeah.
It felt like a nice validation to our
Yeah.
conveying and communing together. So I'm really, really grateful once again for this beautiful connection and time with y'all.
Likewise. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your time.
It's been a pleasure, Vanessa, and you've certainly won some hearts over as well. Miss Betty was taken up with your work, and I think she put in the comments that she started following you.
Oh,
Adaizen,
beautiful.
yeah, Adaizen, again, thank you for your support again in the room. And Vanessa, it's been an absolute pleasure. And remember, it's only the first time, it's not the last. And Gemini, thank you, heartfelt gratitude for your contributions and discussions. The show wouldn't be the same without you. And
Likewise.
Vanessa, you're welcome to plug anything you had coming, and then we can bid farewell.
Oh, she has to give me a
Yeah.
summary of herself. Apart from plugging something, you go give a summary of yourself.
What did you say?
You said you were going to give a summary of yourself, right?
Yes, you did. So I did say that. So basically, I wanted to wrap it up and said, my name is Vanessa, also known as Queen V, which is a title that I gave to myself last year with pride of feeling empowered at that time. And I was like, you know what? It feels good. And I still had, when you can feel some like evil eye that still tried to get your name down. And I was like, no, this is my name. This is my title. So I'm taking the ownership of that. I'm really excited about Unshakable Love poetry book, who's going to be coming out in November. So stay tuned with that. And if you're interested to have a chat, please feel free to DM me. I love to exchange and have stories, but also in regards of Krianes, you're most welcome to have a look at that page. There's like more details about like the creative services and mentorship that I'm offering. I am though going to be taking an active break on the Krianes and work behind the scene, but I'll be back online on Krianes. And you can see my detail at artness 3_ on my edit profile, where you can see my link tree as well to connect. I think that's it, really. Easy peasy. I'm gonna enjoy the sun now and live in my garden. This is how it is, my house.
The sky is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a grand, beautiful day today.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you to the audience. Thank you, Gemini. Everybody stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Actually, the show in a couple of weeks with Jeremy Hickson is going to be interesting because I'm going to be in Bali on the day, so that's
Oh,
going to be
nice.
interesting. I'm going with my son for a week.
Cool. Where's
Yeah.
my invite?
Yeah,
You're
where's
TikTok.
welcome.
the invite?
Here's a fun fact, Gemini.
What?
Here's a fun fact. Vanessa and Dane share the same birthday. Yeah.
I am a Taurus.
Both the
So
3rd
still
of
okay.
May. Yeah. Both
My,
of them.
my daughter is a Taurus, but she's an April Taurus.
Yeah.
I'm a May. I'm a good May one.
But both are on the 3rd of May. Can you believe that?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So you definitely have to go. Go celebrate your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
All right. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Gemini.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Thank you,
everyone
Jeff.
that came.
Stay blessed.
Thanks for everyone that watched the show. We love you. Stay connected. Ah, the 5th of May. This oh, I see you. Okay.
Who's on the 5th of May?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, girl.
Oh, you're on the 5th of May. Well, there you go. Happy belated birthday.
It's never too late. It's never too
See you,
late.
folks. God
Yeah.
bless.
Thank
Ciao.
you.